it's Misha Matic, a die-hard Eva fan, living in Japan. Here to do a deep dive on Evangelion's merchandising history, events, and the Eva Crossing Expo. So what exactly is the Eva Crossing Expo? Simply, it's a traveling expedition in Japan, packed with an insane amount of Eva merch. There are over 4,000 items on display, from figures, to clothes, to games, to even gambling machines. Like, look at this! Also, get ready for hug pillows, crayfish, and butt tattoos. But this expo isn't merely about strange and cool merch. It's a living archive of Eva's cultural legacy and how Eva has influenced people in Japan and overseas. And so, today I will be using the Eva Expo as a stage to discuss Evangelion's brand power and history. This is about Evangelion's impact. Okay, from now I'm going to break down things I specifically saw at the expo. Let's go. Number 1, food. Unsurprisingly, Japan, the birthplace of cup noodles, has a lot of Evangelion-themed cup noodles. Notably, we have Rei's garlic ramen and Misato's curry ramen, which are both direct nods to the series. We also have rice crackers, miso soup, caramel corn, gum, and we've even got alcohol for mom and dad. But seriously, these bottles are pretty cool and are an example of Evangelion marketing to its adult fans. For something a little more on brand, Evangelion rations. Now, Japan does have a lot of natural disasters, and having emergency supplies is very important and practical. I'm not making light about that. But the idea of cracking out some Evangelion-themed rations during an emergency adds a surreal, ironic touch, like something straight out of the Evangelion universe. While I haven't tried every item mentioned here, I can definitely recommend Pinot and Coolish. They're both really good. They are both popular ice cream brands that you can buy at the convenience store in Japan. Definitely try some if you have the chance to visit. Look at the cute little Lance of Longinus Pinot's collab has. I want it. While the Evangelion movie was airing in Japan, 5 major chain restaurants all did Evangelion collabs, so they had Evangelion dishes and merchandise. I actually tried to go to all of them, but because Evangelion is so insanely popular, many of the items on the menu would sell out. The food was really good too. Loads of food brands have teamed up with Evangelion, but UCC Coffee specifically stands out for its repeated collabs. There are numerous official pictures of Shinji and the gang downing this coffee, as well as limited edition cans. I discussed it in my Evangelion in Japan video, but UCC even has Evangelion vending machines. On top of that, they have even made Coffee Can Rei hug pillows, because they can. Now, on the topic of hug pillows, let's talk about hug pillows. Pictured here are official Evangelion hug pillows. Yes, there are actually official Evangelion hug pillows, so for your purists, you don't have to buy them off AliExpress. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be an official one for Shinji, so no love for our sad boy. Fortunately or unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a hug pillow for Gendo either. Chat. Gendo. Smash or pass? I'll let you decide. Oh god, that's gross. I think it's gross, sorry. Daddy Gendo. Speaking of Gendo, one of my most favorite Evangelion collabs is his partnership with Schick Razors. Many of these advertisements show Gendo with a huge grin. Gendo never smiled like this in the original series. Not to Ritsuko, not to Rei, and definitely not to Shinji. Seeing Gendo smile like this, it's asking for holy water. I can't wait to talk about this any longer. Evangelion games. Yes, I'm passionate. Oh yes. There is a rabbit hole of Evangelion game history. But today, I will keep it light and brief. Recently, there have been many mobile game collaborations, but I am personally interested in discussing their older games. During the 90s and early 2000s, there were Evangelion games made for PC and Sega Saturn, as well as some other consoles. I have played a number of these games myself. So what kind of Evangelion games are there? Well, there are fighting games, visual novels, typing games, and even some eyebrow-raising 18 plus strip mahjong games. Yes, this is real. Gainax was peak in the 90s, but they also made a lot of games that would be questionable if made today. Remember, Gainax always promised fan service, and they were ready to deliver. Sometimes people online claim this to be lost media and don't really believe it exists. I think that's a bit of like cope. People don't want to believe that Gainax was capable of making this kind of degenerate stuff. Copium. But it's written right here, so let me translate. Among these titles are also 18 plus games. I could go on and on about Gainax, but I will save that for another video. For more Ava flavored 18 plus games, look no further than these Ava Pachinko gambling machines. Now, I'm very sure that no one's getting nudie in these games, but you can only play Pachinko if you are 18 plus. These look amazing though, and I have always wanted to go to a Pachinko parlor, but I have heard Pachinko parlors can be kind of sketchy from friends, but if there is another cool anime collab, maybe I could convince someone to go with me. On to something more pure, to cleanse the soul. There are also Evangelion Tamagotchis. I own these too. Beyond video games, there are also a ton of card games. Like, this is just insanity. Another interesting part of the exhibit were all these posters that advertise real Evangelion events that have taken place in Japan. For example, this poster is for a singles mixer event. This event was specifically catered to Eva fans to meet up and find love. And this is a poster for a girls only meet to make friends with other girls who like Evangelion. I feel like some people may dunk on this somehow, but honestly, I think both of these events are super cool. Like Eva fans getting together and starting relationships, that's beautiful. Anyways, there were tons and tons of posters explaining many different Evangelion events that have taken place in Japan. Okay, so for this next section, I am just going to list out a ton of weird and interesting Evangelion collabs. Honestly, I just can't go super deep into everything, but I'm gonna keep it light and fun for y'all. So let's go. Ready? Go! Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. We got laundry detergent, official Ray blue paint, bicycles, cute alpacas, ugly alpacas, cute mascots like Hello Kitty, chaotic mascots like Kumamon, not chaotic bears like this sweet bear, camping gear, golf clubs, tools, and lots of UFO catcher prizes, these eye drops, which I can actually recommend, and a giant race slide, which I can't recommend because it's gone now, traditional Japanese Daruma, and these traditional little kitties. As for real pets, we have houses and toys. For us people folk, there were a lot of dolls, which is good news for us because we can eventually upload our AI girlfriends into them. Okay, a few more. There were crayfish and these weird mayonnaise mascot baby dolls, which I actually bought this Osk one before. When I saw it at the expo, I got all excited and turned into like a screechy bird. And now, for the most hardcore collab. There was a picture of a man who had a full body Evangelion tattoo that just happened to have an AT field right around his booty hole. And, yeah, I obviously can't show that. You may not know, but I got that passion for fashion. I even like sewing my own clothes and cosplay. So I was mesmerized by the insane amount of creative and cool Evangelion clothing items on display. There were even like these Hot Topic-esque t-shirt walls of Evangelion shirts. There were various collaborations from different clothing brands, but I would like to highlight the sub-brand, Radio Eva. Radio Eva is the name of a clothing line that operates within the Evangelion franchise. This brand specializes in creating apparel using Evangelion's imagery, characters, and themes from the series. With over 500 Evangelion-themed items made, Radio Eva's popularity is crazy. It's worth noting that Radio Eva tends to be on the pricier side compared to other stores like Uniqlo and GU. which tend to be more affordable. Personally, I own items from all three of these brands and I find them to all be good quality. However, if you're willing to splurge a bit, I do recommend checking out the Radio Ava line for some subtle outfit options. I also really like a jewelry brand called The Kiss that often has Ava collabs. I have this Misato stylized ring and Asuka inspired necklace from them, and they're both of really nice quality. And now for some not so subtle clothing items. This kimono really caught my eye, as it was cool to see this traditional Japanese aesthetic mixed with a more modern pop culture touch. There were also some strange designs that I don't know if they were ever made for sale. Like, what is this? Besides street fashion, there were also glasses, wetsuits, onesies, baby clothes, and official cosplay outfits. At first glance, this apron may also seem like an item of clothing for sale. But that is not the case. It's actually part of the uniform that was worn by the Evangelion Shinkansen staff. Ava Shinkansen train? What? Yes, that's right. From 2015 to 2018, Japan had its very own Evangelion-themed train. Inside the train, passengers were immersed in Evangelion references and imagery, like Ritsuko, smoking in the smoking area, and Gendo watching you sleep. There were also photo spots like this life-size cockpit and this game that you could even play on the train. But wait, there's more! During the train's operation, there were also lots and lots of merchandise made. Of course, there was even an Ava train cafe in the train station. The more I learned about this train, the more I wish I would have had an opportunity to ride it. I was lucky enough to once see it in real life, but yeah, never got to ride it. Okay, next thing. Do you know Shinkarion? Shinkarion is an anime where trains transform into giant fighting robots. Most of these transforming trains are based off of real trains. So remember the Evangelion train? Yes, it has its own robot too. So this is a robot-inspired train, transforming into a robot. So it's a robot train robot. Anyways, there's this episode where Shinji and the Ava gang appear, and it is absolutely unhinged. I definitely recommend you watch that episode or at least find a clip online somewhere, just for the pure insanity. One of the more flashy parts of the exhibit was the Ava Racing section. Ava Racing is an Evangelion motorsports group that promotes both Evangelion and various vehicle companies. They do this by participating in races using the imagery from Evangelion. So think Ava-themed motorcycles, cars, and race queens. For the uncultured, race queens are poster girls for motorsports, which is still super big in Japan. Here, you could admire the outfits worn by race queens at events and watch recordings of related races. If you have checked out other videos on the Evangelion Expo, you might notice that they all look a little different. That's because the Ava Expo has traveled to 7 different prefectures, each with its own slightly different setup. So depending on the location you visit, the displays or the merchandise might be a little different. The pictures and videos that I have shown you today were all taken at the expo in Osaka. There was also specific items only for Osaka. For example, many products that have classic Evangelion lines were changed to be written in Osaka dialect instead of the standard Tokyo dialect. Like many pop-up anime events in Japan, this expo actually took place inside a giant department store. And many shops within the department store actually teamed up with the Evangelion Expo. After having fun inside the Evangelion Expo, I stopped at this cafe called Fruit that had a joint collab with the Ava Expo. It was on a different floor, but it had this Evangelion-inspired cake for sale. It was really delicious, but a bit pricey. Blueberries are actually uncommon compared to other fruits in Japan, so that might be why. Anyway, anime food is always more about the experience. It actually being yummy was a bonus. When I first arrived at the expo in Osaka, I was overwhelmed, and I just walked around aimlessly, taking videos and photos, just marveling at the sheer amount of goods that had Ava characters slapped onto them. Walking around, you can really see how Asuka and Rei are the poster childs for Evangelion. Wanna sell a cake? And a knife? That calls for Asuka. Stabby energy. Wanna sell juice or a cup of tang? Slap Ray on it. To me, it's always funny and bizarre how Shinji just isn't popular. Like, he is the main character. But compared to the other characters, he just isn't a seller. Mind you, I feel like Shinji has gained so much popularity since from when I first watched Evangelion. In the 90s, soft boys weren't as popular as they are now, I think. Right? I don't know. One of the biggest highlights for me was looking at all the old merchandise. Evangelion came out in 1995, over 25 years ago. It's incredible to see how figure technology has advanced, as well as how Eva's characters have been adapted to appeal to a more modern audience. Not only the designs, but the color palettes have been adjusted as well. As a longtime Eva fan and collector, it was really fun seeing products that I was familiar with, as well as items that I was not aware existed. Now that the Evangelion movies are over, I really wonder if Evangelion will continue to have such a strong impact in the anime community. I personally hope so, because I have so much love and so much passion for Evangelion that, I would be really sad if it was ever forgotten. I have hope though. There was an area at the expo where you could write a sticky note and put it on the wall. I could feel the love and passion for Eva radiating from all these notes. So I believe that Eva will still be celebrated for years to come. You may be wondering, can I still visit the Evangelion Expo? Well, that depends. It is a moving expo that has been going strong for 2 years now. The expo has been moved to many different areas, so as long as it's still making money, it will probably pop up in more prefectures. Most recently, as of recording this video, it was announced that the expo will be moving to Shizuoka Prefecture. So if you really want to see the expo, you should check online to see if it's still running. If you do decide to visit Japan or you live here, I really recommend that you download the emergency alert app called NERV. I use it myself, and it often can report earthquakes faster than TV. This app was created by an Evangelion fan, Daiki Ishimori, who tragically lost his aunt during an earthquake. The NERV app is highly rated and used by fans and non-fans in Japan. This is another wild example of just how deep Evangelion's influence trickles into everyday life in Japan. This app also has English available, which is not the case for all disaster alert apps. So stay safe, and hopefully you'll only ever need it to check the weather. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the stuff I bought at the Evangelion Expo, and I'll explain a little bit about the items. Merch time! Air horn, air horn, air horn, air horn. So this is more casual. I'm just going to talk to you and show you the merch stuff. Okay, so one of the first things I bought was this Evangelion sticker. This is a sticker that says, "I mustn't run away" in Japanese. And it says, specifically, "Nigecha dameda, nigecha dameda." So this is Shinji's famous line in Evangelion, "I mustn't run away." Now, I'll show you another thing I got. I also got this keychain, which says, "Nigetara akan." Now, it means the same thing, but this is Osaka-ban. This is Osaka dialect. And basically, the Eva Crossing Expo, like I said earlier, had specific merch for specific places. So this is Osaka-ben, the Osaka-ben version that you could only buy at the Osaka Evangelion Expo. So kind of a limited thing. I thought it was cool. I like Osaka-ben, so I just thought it looked cool. Evangelion has like good font choices, if you know what I mean. Next, this is another line from the series. This is Asuka's "What are you, stupid?" Like, "What are you, stupid?" Asuka's my favorite character, so don't say bad things about Asuka or I will be slightly annoyed. But seriously, so this says, "Anta hoka, anta hoka." The original line is "Anta baka." In Osaka dialect, you can say baka, but it's more common to say aho, which means the same thing. It means stupid, means idiot. Not very nice. "Anta baka, anta hoka." That may have been cringe for some of you guys, but I'm cringe, get over it. There's a lot worse things in life than being cringe. So next we have Asuka's hair clips. These are Cospa. Cospa is a very famous cosplay brand in Japan. I actually have lots of Asuka clips that I've gotten from various shops online. I was excited to get my hands on the official ones. Yeah, I haven't opened them yet. I will sometime, I think. They look really good quality. I'm sorry, that's so shiny. I actually thought about wearing the clips in this video, but never go full Asuka. I'm joking. I don't know. I just wanted to keep it casual, a little casual. Another thing I bought was this Evangelion pin. And this says, goodbye, all of Evangelion. Sayonara subete no Evangelion. Which basically means, yes, goodbye, all of Evangelion. This is a pin specifically for the last movie of Evangelion. So I thought, you know, Evangelion's over for now. I like pins and keychains and I like to decorate. I don't know what that accent was. Anyways, I thought it was cool. Again, Evangelion has like really cool aesthetic. Like, Evangelion's aesthetics kind of slap. Do you know what I mean? Like the fonts and stuff. I freaking love them. I use them all the time in my videos. You might have noticed. So these were really cool. I bought 2 of these. These are t-shirts. And what they are is they are the titles for certain episodes. So I bought Asuka's episode. So episode 8, I believe. Episode 8, it's written right there in Japanese when Asuka shows up. And this shirt, what is this? Why can't I read that? What? Is that a 0? How do you read this kanji? I believe this is the first episode. It's just like the angel attacks in Japanese. And yeah, I got 2 t-shirts and they were quite cheap. So they're 1,300 yen gurai, so 1,320 yen. $13. I mean, I don't know what the exchange rate is so much right now, but yeah, that's really cheap. Woo! I'm dropping stuff. So yeah, that's the stuff I got at the Evangelion Expo. That's my little mini haul. Thanks so much for sticking around this long. I've actually stopped making videos for a long time, but I want to start up again. I'm genuinely curious to hear your thoughts about the Evangelion Expo. Is that something you'd want to go to? What item surprised you the most? Let me know. Oh, man, that hurt. Let me know and I'll catch you in the comment section below. Lastly, there were some things at the expo that I actually left out on purpose, like talking about Hakone, the place where Evangelion takes place. That's because I already talked about it in my must-visit places for Evangelion fans video. It's packed with the same Evangelion love and obsession as this one. See you there!